What is going on, guys? This is me, Sin. So I think you're probably already aware of why Yubel is seeing so much play in the OCG and it's super hyped in the TCG. It's because the new support really just made the deck completely cracked. Not only from Legacy of Destruction, but the newer set Terminal Revenge with Phantom of Yubel. Oh my god, it's so insane. Now there's like a bunch of 1-card combos and 2-card combos. You completely disregard the hand traps because Phantom of Yubel can negate hand traps. So Nibiru does nothing, and even the rest of the deck is just insane. It's not like it's just, oh, you summon a bunch of monsters that can't be destroyed. Today I'll show you guys a bunch of combos as well as a deck profile. But before we go any further, I would really appreciate you guys if you could smash the like and subscribe button for me real quick. And if we can get to 1,000 likes on this video, I'm making a spreadsheet video for you guys. Alright, so combo number 1, what happens when you only have Nightmare Throne, nothing else? Look at that. So activate, and then you're gonna be searching for your Samsara D Lotus, which is Luffy's brother, and then special summon Spirit of Yubel, and then either search or place your Nightmare Pain on the field. It doesn't really change anything because at that point you're already drawable anyways. Yeah, destroy the Spirit of Yubel, and then special summon the Graves, search the Grave Squirmer, and then go either Chainlink 1, Nightmare Throne, Chainlink 2, Spirit of Yubel. Doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter because if your opponent had a Ghost Ogre, he would have used it on Nightmare Pain anyways. But yeah, special summon not only the Terra Incarnate off of the Nightmare Throne, but the regular Yubel off of Spirit of Yubel, and then link off in the Cross Sheep. And then we were going to be fusion summoning for the Phantom of Yubel. I mean, that's not even a fusion summon, it's just a special summon. It's a contact fuse like Vicious Astrolaud by shuffling back the Terra Incarnate and the Spirit of Yubel. So now we got Yubel and Samsara, which we will be reviving back off of Cross Sheep. And we will be using the effect of Grave Squirmer, so special summon, and then link off into the Unchained Soul King Yama. And then search for the Sharvar. We don't have to play a bunch of Unchained cards to make this deck work. Anyways, summon Appaloosa, and then Infernal Grave Squirmer effect banish itself to revive back a Fiend monster from her grave with 0 attack and 0 defense. That is going to be Yubel, the only target, and we're going to be destroying... Well, I mean, that we also have Samsara, but that doesn't make any sense because we want to destroy Yubel, and not only trigger the Yubel, but also the Yama, and then revive back the Samsara from the graveyard, or the Yubel, and we'll be reviving back the Yubel because Samsara has an effect to revive itself back, and we'll be linking off the Terra Incarnate as well as the Sharvara in order to make the Unchained Soul Rage, and on the end phase, we'll be triggering the Samsara, revive back, and then choose to destroy the Yubel instead of keeping it on the field because... on the opponent's turn, we can use the effect of Phantom of Yubel to transform one of our opponent's monster effect to destroy one... well, your opponent destroys a Yubel monster in their hand, deck, or field. So yeah, you can destroy Spirit of Yubel, because it doesn't have to be the original Yubel. And then Spirit of Yubel can revive back the Yubel, which means that the Samsara D Lotus is live. Actually, it's always live if you control a Yubel monster. It doesn't have to be Yubel. For your Samsara D Lotus to come back on the end phase, you have to control the original Yubel, not any Yubel monster. Anyways, on the opponent's turn, we have so many interruptions because this can be an SP on the opponent's turn by using an opponent's special summon monster. So it's 3 removal, and then this is a negate. And exactly like I said, you can trigger the Spirit of Yubel off of the Phantom of Yubel, summon the Yubel, and then this is another negate. So yeah, Phantom of Yubel is basically a monster negate, and then Samsara Lotus, exactly same effect, and then double Appaloosa, Unchained Soul of Rage into link off using our opponent's monster, and then SP banish a card, and then banish again. So that's like 7 interruptions, if my maths are correct. Alright, so what happens if you suck at the game and you can't draw a single Yubel card? Well, don't worry, because you can also get your stuff going with the Fiendsmith engine. So start with the Fiendsmith, search the Tractus, and then you're going to be searching for the Luri, and then discard that, summon back, and then go into the Requiem, summon another Fiendsmith from the deck, and then we can revive back the Fiendsmith by shuffling back the Luri or the Requiem, and then go into Sequentia, use the Fiendsmith as well as the Requiem for Lacrimosa, revive back the Fiendsmith so that we can make a Beatrice now, and this is where just having another card in hand is going to be relevant because the Beatrice is going to be foolishing for the Samsara D Lotus, and the Muckracker is pretty much like Promethean Princess, but for Fiend monsters, so it's pretty much like the same thing as the Snake Eye Fiendsmith combo. In that deck, you are basically going Beatrice, send Snake Eye Ash, and then go Princess, revive back, but in this deck, we're going Muckracker, revive back, and we're going to be discarding any other card, doesn't matter. And we can also burn 12 with the effect of Lacrimosa, so that's relevant. Samsara is going to be summoning the Spirit of Yubel, set the Nightmare Pain, whatever. It's the exact same combo, pretty much, but without the field spell, and we had to go through a lot of extra steps in order to get there. By the way, when you go into the Infernal Grave Squirmer here, it's really important to destroy the Yubel, so that we get access to Terra Incarnate, which is going to be an additional name when we go into the Phantom of Yubel. Obviously, I think it goes without saying, but this combo does play into Nibiru, right? Because we're summoning like 20 billion times before we can even get all the Yubels in rotation. But nobody gives 2 shits, we're still playing the best deck. Unchained Soul Lord of Yama, search the Sharvara, and then summon the Phantom of Yubel, and then Infernal Grave Squirmer, revive back the Spirit of Yubel, and then trigger that, summon back the Yubel. Don't need to play the trap card because that's a brick. And phase get back the Samsara, and then choose to keep the Yubel by tributing the Muckracker, but you could also destroy the Yubel, who cares? The only difference between this combo and the other one is that this time we have the Yama in the grave instead of having to burn through it. And we also do not have Appaloosa, so I guess that's a minus, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so this is another 1-card combo, and it's pretty explosive because you it's not even that good drawing Dark Beckoning Beast, but it's still insane. Look at what you can do with that and 2 discards. So you get normal summon and then search for the opening of the Spirit Gates and then activate to search a card that mentions one of the Sacred Beasts, and then normal summon that and then go into the basically Nightmare Cerberus into Nightmare Mermaid and then discard a card. No, so not even, you don't even have to discard a card yet. That's gonna come up soon enough though. Anyways, summon the Fiendsmith and then opening now discard, revive back any of your Fiend with 0 attack, 0 defense, I believe, and then go into Sequentia and then fuse there using the Fiendsmith Requiem as well as the Moon of the Closed Sky. That's assuming, by the way, that the card comes out in Infinite Forbidden. Anyways, Beatrice using your 2 level 6 monsters. This is so unfair. This should not exist. And then again, Muckracker. It's almost like the same thing as the combo I just showcased, but not really, because we also have the graveyard effect of the Fiendsmith, so we can make an additional interruption on top of everything that we did before. But yeah, destroy Yubel, search for the Gravescormer with the Nightmare Pain. Destroy Spirit of Yubel, and then summon the Yubel, and then destroy the Yubel with the Gravescormer, summon Terra Incarnate, and then go for the Yama, search Sharvara, and then go into Phantom of Yubel. Oh, this is where it gets really interesting, because we have a lot of Fiend monsters with 0 attack and 0 defense, because Dark Beckoning Beast gives us 2 additional bodies. So we can go into a second Phantom of Yubel, just to give ourselves more link materials. But yeah, Gravescormer, revive back the Phantom of, Spirit of Yubel, and then destroy that, and then special summon Yubel, and Fiendsmith, this is where it gets really interesting, revive it back, and we can make a Caesar using the Sharvara and the Fiendsmith, and then summon another Phantom of Yubel, so now we've got pretty much nothing. We had to use Terra Incarnate and Spirit of Yubel, as well as Dark Beckoning Beast and Chaos Summoning Beast. So that's 4 summoning materials for the 2 Phantom of Yubels. So one of them helps you beat Nibiru or whatever, not really, but I guess on the opponent's turn it's an interruption, and the other one it's really just a link material for the Unchained Soul of Rage. And on the end phase, the Samsara comes back, and you can either keep the Yubel or tribute the Muckracker. And that's a huge board. I mean, it's the same thing as the combo I just showcased, but on top of that, we also add a Caesar, so that's a double interruption. So that's 7 interruptions again, because this is a negate, this is a negate, this is 3 interruptions in one shot. The Caesar is double interruptions. Anyways, let's get into the 4th and final but also best combo. Okay, so you're not always going to be drawing the field spell, and you're not always going to be drawing the Fiendsmith, but sometimes you draw the slightly worse cards to draw, which are Samsara the Lotus as well as Fiendsmith Tractus, and honestly, in combination with each other, it really doesn't matter whether you draw the Field Spell or the Fiendsmith, which are obviously the superior versions of each card. But this time you cannot lose, because you're also making a Omni Negate, which is insane. But anyways, normal summon the Samsara, and then tribute again into Spirit of Yubel. I feel like I don't really have to mention this, but yeah, again, get your Nightmare Pain. This time, though, we didn't really have to search before, so it is a better practice to just set it instead of searching it. It's just always a better thing to do overall. But yeah, make sure that you always destroy your Yubels when you summon the Gravescormer, because you always want to have access to Terra Incarnate as early as possible, so that we can shuffle it back, and then we can still keep triggering the Yubel to keep playing. But anyways, Cross Sheep revive back the Samsara off of the Phantom of Yubel summon, which is, again, free real estate, the same thing as Mana Dome. If you used to be a Mana Dome player, this deck is perfect for you. We will be using the Tractus in order to search the Luri, not the Fiendsmith, and then discard it, and then revive back, and then go into Requiem, and then summon the Fiendsmith, and then go into Sequentia, and then fuse there using the Luri as well as the Requiem for Lacrimosa, revive back the Fiendsmith, and this is where it gets very interesting. We'll be using the graveyard effect of Tractus in order to fuse our 3 monsters for Dies Irae, and we're not done yet, because now Sequentia effect place itself in the spell and trap zone equipped to the Dies Irae, which gives it the ability to negate 2 cards on the field, doesn't target, and yeah, it's an Omni Negate. Anyways, Gravescormer revive back the Yubel, and then Fiendsmith effect revive itself back, and we're going to be linking off into Yama, and then search for the Sharvara, and then link off into Appaloosa, and then destroy the Phantom of Yubel, because we're not afraid of Nibiru anyways, and then Yama effect trigger to summon the Fiendsmith from the graveyard, and then go into Caesar, and we still have fuel for another Phantom of Yubel, because for some freaking reason, the summon of this card is not once per turn. So yeah, this is a completely unbreakable board. We have Appaloosa, Caesar, Phantom of Yubel, and Dies Irae, which is an Omni Negate. Anyways, that's it for the combos. Let's jump into the deck profile now. Alright, so for the deck list, I really wanted to make it as clean and understandable as humanly possible, so even if you have no experience with Yubel, this should still be a walk in the park for you. But yeah, I'm playing 15 hand traps, which is it is what it is. You kind of have to go and play a lot of hand traps when you're trying to play competitively in 2024. It is 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Mourner, 3 Imperm, and either 3 Bestials or 3 Shifter or 3 Nibiru. You can also play Shifter in this deck, yes, because you don't really lose too hard to, you know, Shifter yourself. It's just that you will not be able to really go full combo. It's like you're Shiftering your opponent to do almost nothing. But yeah, the Bestials, what I really like about them is that they're level 6 monsters, so you can make Beatrice, and you don't have to waste your level 6s to make a Link material, for example, or a Beatrice, so that you can conserve your Fiendsmiths and your Sharvara to make the Caesar instead, because this is more specific. It requires Fiend monsters. And they're just good cards in general. I mean, they only really suck against, like, I don't know, it's like a 10-bite dragon, for example, and that's about it. And then for the 1-card starters, we have a few, so Samsara Dilotis, the Fiendsmith, Nightmare Throne. Even Tractus is almost a 1-card combo, just that you need, like, any other body on the field, and then you're good to go. Nightmare Pain is not really a 1-card combo on its own. Unfortunately, you really need another body in order to get there. And then 3 Opening of the Spirit Gates. This is not a 1-card combo, but it's one of the best extenders in this deck. That is a card that you search off of Dark Beckoning Beast. But if you had the choice between Dark Beckoning Beast and Opening of the Spirit Gates, I want to say more often than not, you want to draw Opening, because this doesn't take up your normal summon, whereas this one does. If you have, let's say, Dark Beckoning Beast and Samsara, and you get Veilered on your Dark Beckoning Beast, then your Samsara in hand does nothing. So you're losing really hard to 1-hand trap. Whereas if you have Opening of the Spirit Gates and Samsara, it's way better. Because now you can go like Opening first and then search whatever Dark Beckoning Beast, and then you can normal summon the Dark Beckoning Beast effect, and then you get Veilered, and then you can go okay whatever. You can link off into El Mirage or something, which I don't play, and then go Opening of the Spirit Gates effect, discard, revive back a monster, and then play from there. Anyways, Chaos Summoning Beast, this card sucks. It's just that you gotta search another monster with Opening of the Spirit Gate sometimes. This card searches this, and then you can't search a second one, because this only gives you an additional normal summon for a monster that isn't Dark Beckoning Beast, so in other words, it does nothing. You need either this or Chaos Core. Both of them are complete dog shit. They have no effect. 2 Tractus with 1 Fabled Lurie. Yeah, I showcased all the effects of this card. Pretty nice. And then 1 Terra Incarnate, 1 Yubel, and 2 Spirit of Yubel. This card is a Garnet, whereas everything else in the deck is a Takatomboy, so if you draw them, the combo isn't any worse. But Spirit of Yubel, if you do draw it and you don't have any other Yubels, you can't go into Phantom of Yubel by using only 1 monster from the hand. That makes sense, obviously. So yeah, this card is dog shit to draw, but you can still only choose to play 1. It's just that under Shifter, this is the 1 card that gets you a lot of recursion, and you really want to have access to it a little more often for your grind game. But I can understand only choosing to play 1 copy of this card. Yubel, I don't really think you need to play more, unless you're trying to play around Fenrir, banishing your 1 of Yubel face down. Then you kind of have like no grind game ability, which is unfortunate. But even then, I think you can still win, so it's really not the end of the world. Yeah, 40 cards in the main deck, and obviously 4 field spells. That's a no-brainer. For the extra deck, 1 Dies Irae, 1 Lacrimosa, 1 Caesar, 1 Beatrice, 1 Requiem, 1 Sequentia, and anywhere between 2 to 3 Phantom of Yubels. And then the rest is also staples, so Unchained Soul Lord of Yama, Unchained Soul of Rage, Appaloosa, SP, Muckracker, and Cross Sheep. You gotta play pretty much everything that I just showcased except the 3rd Phantom of Yubel. That could be Salamander Great Mirage, or something else, or the Moon of the Closed Sky when it comes out. Anyways, I don't really have anything to explain in the idea section this time. Everything is self-explanatory. The only card that I think is really nice to look into is Varudas, the final bringer of the end times, but you do require 2 level 10 monsters to make it, which I think is a little hard to do, because you do need either 1 Yubel and 1 Spirit of Yubel, or like 2 Spirit of Yubel, which I just think is unrealistic, unless there's like a really obvious combo that I'm missing out. But yeah, if there is, just let me know, because this card is pretty broken. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.